Well, it's been a while. I haven't really made content like this in a long time. And I think it was really easy for me to look at what we do and use that as the excuse when I think it just comes down to fear of failure. It's trying something new. As a boudoir photographer, at least I'm speaking for myself, for the last few years, I feel like anything that wasn't direct to exactly what we do, posting images, shooting clients, going through the process, day-to-day business, felt like a waste of time or distracted from the mission. I can give you a lot of excuses, but it's just come down to fear of failure, which is interesting because that's what I preach to our clients every single day is like, hey, look, you showed up. You know, most everyone has that fear that they're not going to love their images when they come to a boudoir session, or they're not going to enjoy themselves. It's like, well, I don't know how to do that, so I'm not going to look like that person. I talk about it all the time, like, just trust me. You come here because I've got you. But when it comes to myself, I've let myself down, and I've let that fear of failure creep in, and I think I've used our business as a way to keep me from creating the content that I actually want to do. I have all of these creative ideas. They don't always align with being a boudoir photographer. They don't always align with the daily task of coming in, setting the studio up, doing our sessions, client communication, everything that has to do with what we actually do for a living. I've kind of talked myself out of doing it, and I've used that as the excuse. When we first started this business back in 2019, we were fearless. Like, we didn't care. It didn't matter. We were just going to do it. No matter what it was, if we wanted to do it, we did it. I have an idea, let's try it out. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, cool. And we had a lot of failures in those early days. I mean, look, we didn't even shoot that many people. I think between 2019 and maybe almost a full year, we maybe shot like 26 clients. There was definitely fear, but you just pushed through it. You just did it. You didn't care. It's fine. We still have careers. I've been in law enforcement for 7 years. She had been at the university for like 5 years. We were good. You know, we weren't ever really worried about money. It was cool. We had a fallback plan. And everything was good until we decided to burn the boats. You know, eventually we were like, look, we're going to go all in on this. Once we did, we had this catastrophic failure that happened pretty much immediately. And I don't talk about this very often, but within the first week of us quitting and going full time, I think we had 10, 12 cancellations. And it was just back to back to back to back. Now imagine you're on the highest of highs, the biggest high you've ever had. Up until that point, it was basically wedding, kids, quitting our careers and going full time in this. And then within just a couple of days, it felt like it was all falling apart. Out of maybe 50 people that we had on the schedule, I think we shot 20, 23 of them. You know, before that moment, we didn't care because it didn't matter. Like if somebody canceled, that was fine. We still have our job. We still have money. We still have income. But once you burn the boats, there's no going back. So when those cancellations come in, it hurts. And then when 3 come in the same day, and then 2 more the next day and the next day. And it wasn't that anything happened. It was just, we just didn't know how to operate a business. We didn't have cancellation policies. We weren't even attracting the right people. We were just attracting the people that wanted cheap products because that's all we were. We were a very cheap business back then. You live and you learn, but somehow I've just let that carry over. There's been this just fear for the last few years of I want to maintain what we have. We were talking about this yesterday. We haven't had a lot of failures in the last couple of years, and that really bothers me because that means that we're not trying enough. I think there was a quote by Alex Hormozy that said that success is just lengthening the amount of time in between failure. I think what he was getting at was, in the beginning, it's like you try it and you immediately fail. And then, okay, we have a new thing that we kind of picked up from that. Okay, so then you try something and then it's a little bit longer, but then you fail again. And you just keep growing that length of time. And we got to where it was a long time in between failures. But we got really, really comfortable. I don't want to be there. There's so many ideas and things that we have, but I've sort of let the idea that it distracts from the mission sort of hide the fact that I just didn't want to fail, because it feels really good when you're successful. It feels so good when you look at the calendar and there's 100 people on the schedule for 2026 already, and we're not quite there yet. So I've got that safety net. Just keep doing what you're doing. Don't take chances. And so this is me saying it's time to take chances. It's time to just have fun. It's not that we're not having fun, but we're just not doing what we want anymore. It's been really easy to just let ourselves get comfortable with the day-to-day. And I don't want to do that again. That was when I knew I had to quit my job as a police officer. Because where I worked, there was a lot of times where I hated my job. I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to show up. You get comfortable being comfortable. So this video is just a way of me saying, hey, I'm here. I'm okay being uncomfortable. It's time to take chances. It's time to have fun. We're just a couple of days away from 2026, and I'm here. I'm doing something new. I'm excited. I feel good. I feel the best I've felt in years. And so we're going to make 2026 our year of change, innovation, and just having fun. Some of the things that you can expect to see, a lot more of this. More vlog style videos. That's been something I've wanted to do for years. I've loved doing that. The day that we quit our careers, we just had total freedom. I remember vlogging the entire day. And it's interesting because I still remember it. I remember everything about it. And I don't watch it that often, but I remember being in that moment. I always had this fear that if you were behind a camera, you may not remember things. I think I'm learning that being behind the camera actually helps me remember it. I don't even have to see the video. It just makes me more present in that moment because I'm focused on shooting it and I'm focused on the scene, and it actually helps me lock that in as a core memory. And I'm lucky enough that I've actually got video to prove it. I am so damn excited for the first time in years to see where this goes. And so my promise for 2026 is that we will show up every single day. We will be that business that people fell in love with when we started. So here's to 2026. We'll see you soon. Okay, you got this. This feels ridiculous. I mean, I don't have to look at the camera. I'll just look over here. Yeah, this is like insane, right? Not gonna work. Nope, that's not the vibe. Feel like a crazy person and go. No! That's okay. I don't need that. That's gonna go off, isn't it? Fuck!